First things first, we must make sure we have the lead in a thumb lock or a finger lock so that we know it's secure and that your dog is not going to get away from you if they lunge forward. It's important to know how to get to your dog once they're ahead of you without them gaining extra ground on us because the lead slackens, but also without us yanking them backwards because this will often cause a larger reaction. We need to be able to understand how to safely and securely gather the leash in, because if your dog is going to lunge forward, we need to be able to get to them while still maintaining constant tension on the lead. So once you've decided how you're going to hold the leash, we next need to determine which way feels more comfortable for you when you're going to gather that lead in. So there are two options. One uses just your index finger, and the other uses your thumb and your index finger. If you've decided to hold the lead with a thumb lock, you would then take your other hand, slide it down the lead, and that almost forms a loop which you can place over your index finger and then grab hold of the lead. Option B is if you've got your lead in an index finger lock, again slide the other hand down, forms a loop again, and that would then go over your index finger for a second time. So we'll show those again. Here I start with the finger lock, gather in the lead, form another loop over the finger and then grab hold of it. Next is the thumb lock. We start there, slide the other hand down the lead, re-loop it over the finger as well and then grab hold of that. So it's worth clipping your lead onto something just in the backyard, having to play around to see which you prefer, the finger lock here or the thumb lock. I personally prefer the finger lock. Once you've got that, practicing sliding your hand down the lead and then how you're going to lock that off again. I prefer the dual finger lock, but you may prefer one loop over the thumb and one over the finger. Once you get the hang of that, you could start to practice with your dog so that you get an idea of how far down the lead you need to slide your hand in order to get to them without pulling them backwards. Next, you want to think about what you're going to do once you get to your dog. There are a few options depending on what they're pulling towards in the situation. Here I've decided our trigger isn't so bad. It's something that we could work with, so I choose to go to Bella and do the engage-disengage game for a little while. And then after a little looking, I decide that we're going to leave. So we practice our U-turn and exit. On this next occasion, our trigger is quite significant and I decide we need more distance. So I immediately go to Bella, turn her around, get a few more meters away from the trigger, and from there we're in a better position to do some engage-disengage again. And just like before, after a little bit of looking, we then make our exit. And this next occasion, we're going to do a little bit of engage-disengage at a close range and see how we go. She's doing pretty well, but it's a lot of pressure being so close to our trigger. So I do our inwards turn and we're going to gain a little bit more distance and do some more engage-disengage further away just to keep confidence high. And then finally, we finish on a win. We've done some good work around our trigger and so we make our exit.